Hey guys, it's the MereKat. Today I wanted to show how to do a really easy soup recipe. Now since I'm not able to have any wheat products, make pre-made 5-minute chicken noodle or vegetable stock soups anymore, I had to come up with a way to do something quick and easy and satisfying. This recipe takes about the same amount of time as a traditional packaged soup, but has absolutely no ingredients that contain wheat in it. So for this recipe, you're going to need 1 or 2 green onions. Regular onions work just fine too. I'm going to use a few mushrooms, some garlic, our soup base. I'm going to be making a miso soup, so I'm taking soybean paste. Now all these ingredients you can get really easily either at your local store or if you have an Asian market, even better. Especially this last ingredient. I'm going to be using some dried seaweed. So to start, you take your pot and you're going to fill it with water. Now what I do, instead of making a ton of soup at once, I will take my bowl and actually fill it up 1.5 times, and that gives me the right amount of water. Don't forget, a bunch of that is actually going to evaporate off as it cooks. So that goes straight on high heat, or medium heat in my case, just as you would cook a normal instant soup. Now as that's coming to a boil, I'm going to go ahead and chop up all of my vegetables and put them directly into the soup pot. You're going to want to make sure that all of your ingredients are chopped fairly small, as they're going to be cooking in about 5 minutes. Although I'm making a vegetarian miso, you can really put pretty much anything into it. What I tend to do is I will use whatever's kind of left over in my fridge. So if I have some chicken in there, or if I have some cooked carrots, I'll just throw them into the pot as well. You can use almost anything, just make sure that it's either pre-cooked or that you cut it very small, because you want to make sure that it'll cook in the traditional 5 minutes. So now everything's in the pot, aside from the dried seaweed and the soybean paste. Since it didn't take us very long at all to cut up all of our ingredients, the water hasn't come to a boil yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and put a lid on it for now. And we'll be back in a few minutes. So it's been about 5 minutes, and there we go, totally boiling. I'm just going to go ahead and stir this really quick. I just want to make sure that none of the ingredients are stuck to the bottom. No, it doesn't feel like any of them are. Now to add the soybean paste is actually really easy. I do it about a tablespoon or so at a time. Put it into the water, just spin it around for a little bit. It's going to get stuck to all the ingredients, but also eventually it will melt off the spoon. Now the reason that I held off on the dried seaweed for so long is that as soon as the seaweed hits the water, it starts to expand rapidly. And if you have a pot of soup that is full of seaweed, there's no way that you're going to be able to see if the color starts changing or see when the miso's off the spoon. So you can already kind of see, hold on, let me take this off the heat for a second. Ooh, smoke's green. Okay, maybe you can't really see. The watercolor has actually started changing to the traditional brown of miso. Yep, there we go. Now as soon as the miso detaches from your spoon, you're going to start feeling it in the bottom. So even if, like, right now you basically have a plume of smoke, you'll still be able to feel when it's pretty much dissolved. Also, you can start scooping up. Oh, there you go. You see the color? Let's get a good spoonful. It's starting to look like broth. Now I'm going to give this a quick taste just to make sure. Now be very, very careful. This is kind of boiling hot. I'm actually going to use my soup ladle for this. Oh yeah, you can see it super well there. Yeah, that's actually the perfect amount of soybean paste. So now one last thing before we put it down to simmer. I'm just going to take, a sprinkly full, maybe about a tablespoon of the dried seaweed. Put it down to minimum. Throw the lid back on and leave it for about 4 to 5 minutes. Alright, so it's been about 5 minutes. Look, and soup's ready. Now let's see if I can do this one-handed. Now, see how the seaweed plumped up? Now I'm going to pour the rest of this out using my 2 hands. So making this soup took about 10 or so minutes. So that might be a minute or 2 longer than the traditional Campbell's or Looney's vegetable or chicken broth soup. So that's going to do it for me today. Is this something that you would consider making yourself at home? Are there any other recipes that you'd like me to post or try? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.